Hi there, it's Beauty Junkie. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you all the products I got in my recent Ulta haul. I would say most of these products are in the more affordable range, from drugstore to mid-price in the $20 to $30 range and below. And so I wanted to share with you my new goodies. So let's get started. I do have a couple of hair care products I want to start with first. Just real quick, I have a new spray bottle. This is just for water. It's from Pattern, and this is the company from Tracy Ellis Ross, and it is available at Ulta. So this is a spray bottle from that brand. They have a whole hair care line dedicated to curly and textured hair. I haven't tried any of her hair care products, but I wanted to get a new mister, and this is just to kind of refresh my hair. And I have tried the spray, and it's not as fine as I hoped it would be. I was looking for like a really fine sprayer, and this one, first of all, it shoots out pretty far, and the mist, it's not as fine as I want it to be, but I do like the design of the bottle. It's going to hold quite a bit of liquid, it seems like. Not a bad purchase, but this isn't like the cheapest sprayer you can get. I think you could get cheaper sprayers and have a very similar mist action going. I also purchased kind of a repeat purchase. This is TGIN, and thank God it's natural is what TGIN stands for. This is the Rose Water Smoothing Leave-In Conditioner, and I have the green tea leave-in conditioner that I'm almost out of. This is it right here. It is almost out, and I wanted to get a similar product. This is the rose water version. And I already tried a little bit of it, so you guys, I could tell you what it's like. But the textures are pretty much the same for both of these products, except this one is actually slightly scented. I thought it would be more fragrance like rose, but it's really light, which I don't mind. It's very fruity. I don't necessarily smell like anything super rosy to it. It also has acai berry. It's a white cream. It's not pink. I think I'm gonna like this just fine, and I actually like the bottle better because it has a pump, which is a lot easier to squeeze out than like actually physically having to squeeze the product out. So I'm excited about this. This is a really good deal for the money. This has 13 ounces of product in here, and I think it's under $15, which is really great for like a texture leave-in conditioner. It's for like a textured hair care line. A lot of stuff for curly hair is expensive, and this one is really reasonably priced. So if you haven't explored this line, I recommend the leave-in conditioners. I also got one body product. Well, I use it for the body. You can use it wherever. This is from Thayers. This is the Blemish clearing pads, and this has 2% salicylic acid, witch hazel, and aloe vera. I didn't know this when I got it, but this is a lemon scent. It has citric acid in it, but it's near the bottom of the ingredient list. It also has tea tree oil, and I essentially use this for my ingrown hairs. Wherever I shave, after I shower, I kind of just wipe it on as a treatment and leave it on as long, I don't rinse it off. And it just comes in little like circular pads, and there's 60 in here, and I believe this was like $10 or so, which is the cheapest that I could find for 60 pads. Otherwise, there was a lot of brands that had like 30 pads, and they were pretty pricey. So I hope I get good results with this because it's pretty cost effective. This company, Thayers, is famous for their witch hazel sort of toner, which I have not tried, but it's pretty popular enough, and salicylic acid is really the ingredient I was looking for to kind of clear blemishes, so we'll see if this works. I also picked up a couple skincare items from Indeed Labs because they were doing like kind of a buy one get one free, but it was more like spend $30 and you get the Intense Moisture Lotion for free, the full size 1 ounce. So I spent $30 by getting the vitamin C 2-4 serum, and it's 22% vitamin C and 2% hyaluronic acid. That's where they get the 24. So I haven't tried this yet, but I have tried their peptide serum in a tube and their hydration booster, which I flew through. I really like their hydration booster. I also picked up their Hydraulon Plus Lip Plumper. This is a volumizing lip treatment. So the vitamin C serum, I'm not going to open yet because I'm not quite ready for this one yet. I'm trying a couple other samples, but I will have to follow up and let you know. It just says you use a pea-size amount, AM and PM. I trust this company. I really like it. They're from the UK. And then I have tried this. It has Volulip in it. I believe is kind of like the lip plumping ingredient, but the texture of this is just clear, and it's basically the texture of Vaseline. Just very shiny, clear, same texture. Really nice, comforting, just like Vaseline. I tried this yesterday and I got no stinging sensation, or like you get from like a lot of plumping lip products. You get kind of irritated and tingly. I didn't feel any of that. I don't know necessarily that I saw any results or plumping results, but maybe with continued use I may see some result. I feel the slightest bit of tingle right now, but it's really nothing. And then the free item I got is the Intense Moisture Lotion. I've heard really good things about this, and I think it's just it's kind of a creamy lotion, but it's not intense by any means, and that's what I heard about it, that it's just really hydrating. And this just is like a simple, clean lotion. Clean meaning there's not a lot of complexity to it. It just has triple action hyaluronic acid, and you can apply it AM or PM. And let's see. It has copper, magnesium, and zinc. And it has different molecular weights in the hyaluronic acid, which is good. It has zinc, copper, and magnesium to help protect against environmental damage, and it helps create a long-lasting moisture barrier that leaves skin looking smooth, soft, and supple. So, I mean, there is a few key ingredients in here, but it's really just meant to hydrate and protect. You're still going to need to use like your antioxidant serums and your other treatment serums along with this, but I think it's going to be a good quality moisturizer to have in my arsenal of skincare. So these are the 3 Indeed products I got. If you want to try Indeed, I think Ulta is a great way to do it, especially with their rewards program, and they have quite a few sales throughout the year. So lastly, I want to get into the makeup, and that's kind of the rest of my haul. And I wanted to keep everything pretty low cost, as I mentioned. So this was $25. All of their serums are $25 from Indeed. This was about $10 for their lip plumper, and there's not a lot of product in here. I was a little bit disappointed. There is 9.3 milliliters. 1 ounce of the Intense Moisture Lotion. I believe this is also worth $20, so 20 or 25, and so this was free. So that's a pretty good deal, good value. So this is kind of the most expensive products that I bought, more in the mid-range because they're above $20. but everything else I've shown you is under 20. All right, let's get into the makeup. So I do want to try a couple of these makeup items on for you so you can kind of get a first impression of them. The first is the Catrice Cosmetics HD Liquid Coverage Foundation. It's mattifying, has a second skin effect, and lasts up to 24 hours. It's 1 ounce. It's supposed to be lightweight, non-greasy, a non-oily texture that feels like a second skin. Long-lasting coverage without a mask effect, and creates even complexion. It says you're supposed to shake it. I don't really love that this is a dropper, and I'm not really sure this shade Rose Beige number 20 is going to be right for me, but if not, we'll see. I mean, if I like it, I can always purchase a new shade later. I also have a powder product from e.l.f., and I think this is supposed to be a dupe of the Hydraulon pearls. This is like the meteorites dupe, and this was pretty inexpensive from e.l.f. The packaging is really like just plastic. I tried kind of seeing anything came out of these yesterday, and I didn't get a lot of product when I used my brush. But I think I'm gonna have to shake it, break it up, and get some powder out to really get a sense of the product, because it was kind of hard to pick anything up. I also picked up a repeat purchase. This is Essence Lash Princess False Lash Effect Mascara. This is a black and green tube. I really like this one. I also, last but not least, I picked up some lashes from Ardell. I got the Wispies, which a lot of people love, so I wanted to try them out. And the Studio Effects Ardell lashes, which are a little bit longer, a little bit different. And I believe they're doing like a buy one, get one 40 or 50% off on Ardell. These e.l.f. eyeshadows were $3 each. I've heard a lot of good things about these. And then the Catrice, I think, was around $10 or $11. So I'm gonna go ahead and start applying the foundation just to see what it's like. And I've already applied the Tatcha primer, Silk Canvas primer to my face, the liquid one, and then I've applied the ABH eye primer to my eyelids. So let's get started. All right, so it says to shake it. I did feel the texture of this yesterday on the back of my hand, and I wanted to see the color, and I think it might be okay on my skin, but it does look a little too deep for me, unfortunately. Even though I mean, I don't know what other shade would have worked except for maybe the lightest shade. I'm always a little bit nervous about getting the lightest shade. So I just use the dropper on my glass palette here. It's a really liquidy foundation. And when I was feeling it yesterday, it felt a little oily, and maybe it just has a lot of slip and it's just supposed to be really silky. But that was just my first impressions of it. I'm gonna go ahead and use this applying with a sponge. And I think this sponge is about time to go because it's got some hard spots that won't loosen up. Anyways, we're gonna use a sponge and see how this goes. I'm noticing it has quite a bit of coverage. For all you full coverage queens out there. This color doesn't look too bad actually in the sun, but I hope it doesn't darken up too much. A little bit dark when it comes to my blending it into my neck. I can tell I'm gonna have to really work it in. So I did like a full squeeze of the dropper, and I haven't, this seems like a kind of foundation that might be like a little bit goes a long way, which is nice, especially for the value. So I've used this much so far. You can kind of see almost all of it. If you have, you know, pretty good skin, or you just don't like a lot of coverage, you could probably get away with half a dropper, especially if you have a smaller face. You know, when I was trying this out yesterday, I thought, wow, this is really oily. How is this going to be mattifying? But now that I'm working it into my skin, I can see that it doesn't quite have the oily finish that I thought it would, and it's drying up as time goes on. So I think you are going to get a pretty matte finish, but we'll have to see kind of how it performs as we go. You know, you don't want it to dry up too much or mattify too much. Because for me, if I really want something matte, I just add more powder. But when you start your base off really dry, it can be not so great. Unless you have just super, super oily skin. I'm gonna take, so I've used all the, pretty much everything from that dropper. Yeah, I think this, if you look at my neck and my chest, this color's a little bit dark, but I can get away with it. It looks pretty nice from far away. Definitely not dewy. I'd say it's semi-matte to satin right now. It could just go completely matte. But just looking close up, it looks pretty dang good. I'm pretty impressed. For what, $10, $11 foundation, or $10 to $12? This looks pretty dang good. I think if I were to apply this with my fingers, I wouldn't have as much luck as having like a nice flawless application. I think the sponge did help, because I remember kind of just applying it to the back of my hand and thinking, wow, this is really thick and oily and heavy. But now that it's on my skin, I mean, I don't feel it at all. And up close, it looks great. The sides of my nose look good. My problem area looks fine. I am impressed, Catrice, at least so far. We'll see how it, you know, wears. I'll have to provide you updates. Of course, if you see this foundation pop up in other videos, it probably means I like it and I want to use it up. But yeah, like, I think so far so good. I'm going to apply a concealer and some powder, and then we can move on to the other makeup products. So I will be back. Alright, so I put on some concealer, some blush, some setting powder, my eyebrows, and that's it. So I want to try this out. This is supposed to be a dupe for the Hydraulon Meteorites. I have the compact version, which smells so good. I really like. So you have sort of the same colors in here. You got greens, some white, purple, blue. So you're kind of going for the same effect. I hope I can get enough product on my brush to sort of see what this does. And I'm gonna go in with a buffing brush instead. I do see powder on my brush. Not sure if I'm seeing much of a glow. Ooh, I see some like glitter or something popping up. It looks like there's little glitter coming out after you kind of wipe away the top layer of powder. You can really kind of see it in this gold one. Oh, I don't think you can. You won't be able to see it from my camera, but yeah, there's little glitters in here, and I'm not sure you can see it on my forehead, but when I look in the mirror in the sun, I'm seeing some micro glitters, which are not micro enough. They're actually a little bit thicker of a glitter than I'm looking for. I don't want like a glitter powder, and I think that's kind of what I'm getting from this. It doesn't look terrible. It's not like super noticeable, but I notice it, and it's just not the same at all as the Meteorites powder. There's absolutely no glitter in this powder whatsoever. It just kind of totally different effects, which is kind of funny. So I'm going to use the real thing on top of this. And there is a sheen to this, but not glittery in any sense. So it does say skin balancing mineral pearls. It says it's supposed to provide a glistening sheer wash of color designed to complement any skin tone and create a flawless finish. Multicolored pearls blend together to help mattify skin. Vitamin A, B, C, E infused formula, condition and hydrate the skin for a soft, silky feel. Swirl a brush on the pearls and buff into your eyes, cheeks, and body as a finishing sheer wash of color. So they don't really mention glitter. There's talc in here, mineral oil. Yeah, that's the packaging. I don't know that I really will be using this in the future. I may give it a shot again, but I just kind of wanted to try it. I didn't have a whole lot of expectations from e.l.f., but I just thought it was funny that they were clearly trying to copy a popular product, which I think they often do. Sometimes it's a success, and a lot of times it's not, unfortunately. Yeah, interesting stuff. So I'm going to show you the e.l.f. eyeshadows. And I got Rose Water, which is like a neutral pink. And then I have Cream and Sugar, which is just neutral browns. This reminds me a lot of the Natasha Denona Mini Nude palette, especially this case and the color story. So we're gonna try these out. These are called the bite-size eyeshadows. These are $3. So even if they don't work out like perfectly, they're not breaking the bank much at all. So I'm gonna open both and we're gonna use both in my eye look. I'm gonna use both in this eye look. So the deeper tones in these palettes, one is a deep brown, the other is like a deep purple, but it looks like it has some gold in that deep purple color. You can see that. And then in the brown palette, it's just a matte brown, a matte cream color, and then you have some shimmers. So interesting that they put a little glitter in there. I'm gonna start out with this kind of bone color, cream color first. I know there's not a lot of pigment to this, but I just want to show you what it does, if anything. It's not doing like a whole lot for me besides dusting my lid with powder. So I'm gonna move on to the mauve shade right here, the matte, and see if this color shows up on me. Sorry about that. I'm seeing a little bit more color on this one. Not a whole lot though. I see, you know, powder on my eye. It's just, maybe it's just the tone of the color. It's just not deep enough to really do much. But if you kind of just want to even out your eyelid without a lot of color, this would be your shade if you have a lighter. Okay, so next I want to try some of these shimmer shades. I'm going to try the deeper shimmer shades from both of these palettes. And we're going to start with the pinker one. I like how travel friendly these are and minimal. I just hope that we get some color out of them. A lot of people said these were really good. I don't know why I didn't get the green one. I was surprised when my order came. I thought I ordered jalapeno. Apparently I didn't. But that one's supposed to be good. I'm getting a little more color here. But the formula, it's just not what I'm used to. It's not bad. You can see I'm getting some shimmer. Go ahead and try the brown shimmer shade, just to kind of double up on top. Give it a little bit of warmth. These are really sheer. They're not bad though. You can see I'm getting some color. These are really, really natural. I'm gonna go back in on the same idea, rose first and then the brown. I don't know, maybe these are the kind of shadows that you have to apply with like a sponge tip applicator. I remember buying like CoverGirl and applying my eyeshadow with those kinds of applicators, and you know, you always got like a sheer wash, but maybe my brush is not doing these justice. I don't know, maybe I should use my fingers. I mean, these shades are okay, they're just not showing up on the camera. But they're pretty neutrals, they're just not pigmented and deep enough. I'm gonna go in with the darker mattes, and I'm gonna do purple first. This looks pretty gray on my skin, not really purple at all. But I'm finally seeing some color. It's not great. I'm gonna put the brown matte on top of it. These are really powdery. I'm not too impressed so far. I wouldn't say this is a dupe for Natasha Denona at all. Yeah, I think these shades are pretty sheer, and that, you know, that's why I don't really mess with drugstore formulas, because they're, in my experience, been really sheer. I know there's a lot of good ones out there nowadays, and companies have stepped up their game in the budget arena, but I don't know what's going on, Elf. I think this side looks a little bit better than the one with the purple, but I need to even it out. So I'm gonna do both with purple. I mean, you can see like the matte is deepening my eyes, right? It's just very sort of muted tones. So I'm going to use the lightest powders sort of in my inner corner. I'm going to start with the pink. It's the lightest one here. And we're just going to see what this does. This one's pretty enough. I'm going to go into the lighter shade in the brown palette and go over the top. Just a little bit. So you can see some sparkle. So you can see you have a little bit of sheen. It's just not quite punchy. It's not quite as punchy as I'm used to. So this is me using all the colors in both of these palettes. It's not bad, it's just not great. So I'm going to be putting on some mascara, and then I want to try one of these lashes. So I will be back. Alright, mascara is on. So we are ready for some lashes. I'm just going to try the wispies. I'm going to save these for another video. I think, you know, I'm looking at my eyeshadow, and I think it's fine. I think it's not super pigmented, but the really more offensive shade to me is that deep purple. It's just kind of a gray cast, and while it's deeper, it has some pigment to it, it's just not pretty. And I think it's just kind of more apparent in person, and I don't really think it goes with the rose tones, and it's just too much of a contrast. The brown, funny enough, like I don't think this one is nearly as pigmented. Whereas the purple, I don't know, I just seem to just look a little gray. So, continued thoughts on those products. My foundation, so I put on my mascara, but I had to do some other things, so I had like a couple-hour break. My foundation looks pretty good. It's a little bit cakey right here. There's like a little bit of like lines showing up, and maybe I just kind of over powdered in this area. But I mean, even still, I have some powder on and things are settling in pretty well. So I am impressed so far with the Catrice HD 24-hour long-lasting foundation. Alright, so we're gonna take a pair of these, and I'm going to be using the House of Lashes glue from Sephora. I saw a couple comments on Ulta that when they pulled off their lashes, some of them came out. I'm gonna be careful with pulling these off. Success, nothing came out. Right. I'm gonna put a little bit of lash glue. We're gonna do one at a time, of course. I know these wispies are like old news for you guys, like where have I been? I have not been wearing lashes, that's where I've been. I don't know, I just always associated lashes with a special occasion, and I just don't have many of those to go to. Okay, so we're just gonna wait for this to get tacky. And I'm gonna be using my Sephora lash applicator. And we're gonna see how this goes. Alright, so it's turned color a little bit, so I'm gonna go ahead and apply. Starting over, I think I kind of did a little misplacement and had too much hanging out on the end. That went a little bit better. I think this lash applicator really helps. It's just, it really sticks to the glue and the mascara when you're trying to apply your lashes, and just wanting to clamp down on each section, make sure it stays, and sometimes it just really gets stuck, the glue and mascara to the applicator. So I think this is a much better application than the first time. I think I just needed to shift it inwards, and I could probably use a bit of a trim. It just looks a little thick on the inner corner. But I'm going to go ahead and apply the other side. But these are really lightweight, and I think perfect sort of everyday lashes. They're not crazy dramatic. For some of us they are a little bit dramatic. These are definitely more on the drama side for me. Like, I would, just because they're so long and I don't like obvious fake lashes, to me these are still a little bit obviously fake, but that's okay. I like to have a little fun. See where I want to put these. Make sure I don't put them way over here. So still a little loose on this side. I don't know why I have so much trouble with lashes. I think I didn't get it stuck on, and I started clamping down too early, and then everything kind of moved. So a little bit loose, but you get the idea, you get the shape. These are not new. They're cheap, and I think they look pretty nice. I think they look somewhat similar to the eyelash extensions everyone's getting. I would never consider really getting extensions because of, I like to wear makeup and I use an oil cleanser, and apparently that's a big no-no with these, and I don't know what I would do without oil cleansers. And I'm not the kind of like a no makeup person who just needs lashes and they're good. I need more than that, or I like to use more than that. And I think most of the time they just look fake. And I know it doesn't make sense. Well, I look fake with makeup. Well, I think eyelashes, I mean, they're just on another level. Okay, so eyelashes are on. I think I'm just gonna leave them as is, no eyeliner. Put a little bit of lip gloss on top of my plumping lip balm, which I never got a tingle using that lip balm, so it's really nice. And it's really hydrating, so I'm impressed. I wish this came in a little bit of a better case than this giant box. That doesn't really have a proper like lid you can open and close really easily. Whereas this, I usually just keep storing it in this plastic container. This is not quite the same. Alright guys, this is my final makeup look with my affordable Ulta products. I mean, I think even though the eyeshadow is kind of lackluster, I think the lashes kind of stepped up the game. Would I recommend anything I've bought? So hard for me to really say on some of these because I haven't really tried them that much. I did try this once. I didn't have any irritation on my ingrown hairs, so that's good. The hair products, this is very similar to the leave-in conditioner that I already use, so I do recommend this or any other leave-in conditioner from TGIN. As far as this hair mister goes, I don't recommend buying this. It's not really worth the price from Pattern. It's really no different than like a $2 one you can get at any drugstore, Target, Walmart, whatever. I would recommend the Essence mascara. This is a repeat purchase for me. And I don't recommend getting the e.l.f. mineral pearls. It actually has some glitter in it, and even though you can't tell, very strange. The Indeed products, I haven't really tried these yet, so I can't recommend them, but I will say that this is kind of a glorified, kind of a Vaseline type of product. I probably won't be repurchasing it because it doesn't seem to really do much of a plumping effect, at least in the first couple of uses. I doubt that it's really going to change, even though I go through the tube, that my lips are going to all of a sudden appear fuller because I've continued using this. So I haven't really noticed a difference with the Hydraulon plumping lip treatment, volumizing lip treatment. So I wouldn't recommend this. I do recommend checking out the rest of their line though. As far as the e.l.f. shadows go, I wouldn't recommend these two. This is Cream and Sugar and Rose Water. The mattes were fine. I just didn't get a whole lot of color payoff. Like, this is a swatch of the brown, like their deep shadow, and that's what it looks like. It's just not very pigmented, and these are not super shimmery. Like, a lot of these colors like barely showed up on my eye, just slightly. And then yeah, this deepened things up a little bit, but just not very deep as you'd think this would be. And then this one, I say the best shades are probably the shimmer shades. Those showed up the most. But this you could barely see, and this purple just gave like a weird kind of gray cast that just is not flattering to me. I have heard the green one is good, and I think next time I'll try to pick that one up when it's in stock and try that one out, because I know people at least like the green jalapeno one. This foundation, I mean, I haven't tried it for many hours yet, but I do like the finish. I've been wearing it for like 2 hours and I see a little bit of shine coming through, but that's pretty normal for me. Do I think it's gonna last a full 24 hours? I don't think so. I don't think any foundation should be on your face that long, and I don't think any foundation should be formulated to last that long, because that's just crazy. I am noticing a little bit of issues right here with my skin sort of showing through. Not sure if I rubbed my eyes or something. And I am seeing a bit of like cakiness on my chin. So it's not perfect, but I think for the price, it's not a bad foundation. I am seeing, like, looking up real close, that and I don't know if maybe this is like the blush on my cheeks, but the area that I put a cream blush, the Fenty Beauty one, and then I attempted to, you know, put some powder on top of it. It looks a little bit cakey, and I know the camera's not gonna pick that up, but it just kind of settled into my fine lines near my eyes. Now my nose looks pretty good still, which is surprising. That's like a hard spot for me to, you know, I just typically have some issues there. But I have a little bit of like redness peeking through, and I think maybe some of the foundation came off. But I've just kind of been sitting around not doing a lot. And that being said, it seems like this foundation may have a tough time settling into fine lines, even if the powder is on top of it. And then it seems like it may have some transfer issues. If you can deal with those issues, this may be a good contender for you. I would say this isn't dewy, it's not quite satin, it's not quite fully matte, but it is on the matte side. I think it's fair to say that it's a matte foundation. But yeah, I would be careful about the powders you apply on top, and just make sure everything's really blended in. And I know I was trying to try this e.l.f. powder, maybe that kind of overdid it in this area, but it's definitely something I'm going to continue to experiment with, and I'll try to develop more of a full opinion on how I think it actually wears. But first impressions, I mean, just besides what I've already just described, I think it's not terrible. Is it my favorite? No, I really don't like that it's in a dropper, and I knew that buying it, but this guy has such good reviews, and I do need a slightly lighter color. So that's it for my Ulta haul. Please let me know if you have any questions, comment below, click like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.